Welcome back, and let's continue our journey to learn Spark. We were looking at Spark Cell, the REPL for Spark. Today let's explore various data types that Spark supports. Let's open command and I have already created a folder file formats, and I have created some files. Let's see what file I have created. The first one I want to show is the text type. So this is just unstructured format. It doesn't have some column format and a row format, something like that. In big data you should be able to process some structured format, like if it is in table, or some unstructured data like this, just a text or image or something like that. So I won't be dealing with image here, but this is one text example. And let's see the JSON next. So these are a new line delimited JSON objects, and here I have three fruits: apple, orange, and banana, price and available. Like these are three different data types. The first one, name, is of type string, and price is, you can say, integer, or by default Spark takes it as long. We'll see next. And available is true, false. It's a boolean type of data. And let's see what we have in CSV. So here I have food and count. Like this is let's say I conducted a survey where I asked everyone to say list down their favorite food, and 12 of them listed pizza, and 5 chocolates, and 15 noodles. So that's it. This is our data for today. And let's see, let's open Spark Cell. So we have our Spark loaded and ready to process our data. Let's see how we can read a text file. Val text equals spark dot read dot text.txt. So this is how we read text data. It's simple. And again, when we read it, it will output the data type as data frame, and there is something value and string here. We'll see what it is in JSON, where it will be more evident. It's just a column. We have one column here, a value, and that the type of that is string. So let's see what we have here. Text dot show. So it is loading, and it showed the data. It's one column, just the value, and each line of that text file is a row in this data. So let's say I think it did something like it truncated some of the data. So if I do false, then false, then it will so without truncating the data. And this is it for text file, how simple it is to read text file. And in text file there's no column. If you want to organize them in different column, you'll have to either put it in other formats like CSV or JSON, or you'll have to do some processing yourself, like if there is a space, separate it to different columns or something like that. I won't be doing the lot of that here. We can see some text processing later, but I want to show you something that is text dot print. So if you are coming from some SQL or some a database already, so in that case this print schema will be helpful because it will show the schema. So here we have one column that its name is value and its type is string. It is a nullable type. So that's it. We'll see more about this in JSON. Let's see what we have in JSON. Val JSON to spark dot read dot JSON and JSON. This is our JSON file name. And what do we have here? We have JSON data frame, and let's see, this is also truncated. We'll see the same thing in print schema. JSON dot so here we have three columns, that is available and name and price. It's sorting based on alphabetical order. I had name, price and available there. So it auto detects all these, what types are these. So available it took as boolean, name as string and price as long. So there's a way we can specify the type also. We'll maybe see that later, but for now it's auto detecting what data type we have based on data we provided it. Let's see, JSON dot show, and what do we have here? Yes, whatever we had in that file, like apple, orange and banana, and we have price, we have available. This is it. And let's see how we can read a CSV file. We use dot read dot CSV, CSV dot CSV. So again, this is simple, and here it's a little bit different. If you can see here, it's saying underscore C0 is string and underscore C1 is string. What data do we have here? Let's see. SV dot and we have C0 and C1, that must be column 0 and column 1, 0 indexed columns. And we have food and count as values. What if I don't want these as values and the first row is actually header? So this is something we can specify here. Spark.read.csv dot we can say something like option, and header is true. So let's see, when you create two different CSV, like I created CSV earlier also, again I created this CSV in Spark. In the Spark cell you can create as many variables with the same name as you want, and it will override that, but it's not possible in the real programming. We can see later when we do with IntelliJ. CSV dot show false, and now we have our data. uh, uh, Food and count are actually headers instead of C0 and C1, and we have just the data there. And these are the three simple file formats. I also wanted to show something like a new file format and how we write to file format. Here we just read from three types of format. Also, like it's the same for all the formats, but also just by writing into one new format called Parquet, and it's specific to Hadoop, and you can use that in Spark, and you can use that in any other framework when using Hadoop uh, Hadoop system. So uh, this let's see how it looks like. Let's say I want to write the JSON thing into a Parquet file. JSON dot so, just to make sure that we have all the data available here, and then what we can do is like JSON dot write dot Parquet and fruits dot Parquet. Yes, so maybe it was written. Let's see what happened here. So again, the reading is almost the same for Parquet also. Well, because Spark dot read dot Parquet and name is fruits dot yes, we have Parquet dot, we have our schema, and we have our data. So that's it. Uh, let's see what exactly what file it has written, and if we can see how the Parquet file looks like. I press Ctrl plus D to quit, and dir, if I see I have new fruits.parquet file here, but if you see here, it's not exactly a file, it's a directory. Let's see what we have in there. And we have a lot of files here, 4 files. It has success.crc part and part 00, like dot part, something like that. Two of these are CRC, the cyclic redundancy check or something like that. What we are interested in this file, this 866 bytes, I think. So type, this is the file, the actual file we have, and some of these files we can read, some of these things we can read, but some of these we cannot read. Some smileys and special characters, and here you can just see row metadata and type struct and fields. You can see all those fields that we had, and name, price, and everything. The data type is long and all those things. So what a Parquet file is, it's columnar data format for especially for processing big data and analytics purpose. So let's say one example I can give is I have 10 columns in our data frame or 10 columns data I have, and I just want to read two of those columns, and I have a lot of data. So I don't have to read all the columns, as opposed to when we have to read that using a row based database. We have to read all the columns in a particular row, and then filter out the specific columns that we want. Here in case of this, we it's stored in such a way that we can just access one column or two columns or how many columns we want. That is one advantage you'll get while processing large amount of data. You'll just be efficient. And the other thing is they have some type of optimization going on there. Let's say you have one integer column that the values you have like thousands of rows, and the values will only vary between 1001 and 1005. So what type of optimization they have provided is like they store 1000 in metadata and 1 2 3 4 5 in the values. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's fast. They have conducted a lot of tests, and it's actually very fast. It's faster than a lot of other data types, and it's optimized. It will save your time, it will save your disk. I have attached one nice talk on this Parquet file format. You can have a look if you want. Like, it's from Spark Summit, and it's awesome talk.